Hi, J Callers. It's Janet, and I am not taking calls today. As you can see, I am with these three beautiful ladies. What we're going to do today is talk about COVID. We're going to talk about the seriousness of COVID. And I am having problems in this mask. I am not contagious anymore because it's been a month, so I can't do this like this. I'm going to have to take this off, y'all. All right, these ladies are not contagious anymore either, so we're safe. Okay, so now this is the round table talk about the coronavirus. So I'm gonna let these ladies introduce themselves and tell you a little about them.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm 38 years old, and I had the coronavirus last month. My whole house had it. Let's just say that. My mom, my sister, my son. But we're fine now.
I'm Sonia. My age is none of your business, and I had the coronavirus during the month of July. So I'm fine now, and so.
Okay, and I actually, on my last video with Greg and I, told you guys about mine. I actually contracted the virus, the beginning part, actually the 7th of July. Of course, this is now August 1st, and the new guidelines, according to the CDC, states that we're not contagious anymore after 10 days. Anyway, we're not contagious anymore. So what we're going to talk about now is how we contracted the virus, or how we think we contracted the virus. Tiffany, how do you think you contracted it?
I think we contracted it from my mom. I'm not going to say that she's the one that gave it to us, but we believe that she contracted it from visiting the hospital, because that's probably like a few days after she went to the hospital for a bad nosebleed. It was when she started getting sick, meaning she started having a mild stroke, and we didn't know she was having a mild stroke. So she was talking gibberish, where she was stuttering real bad. She couldn't get her words out. So we called the paramedics. They took her to the hospital. Her sugar was low. It was affecting a lot of things with her body. But she did not have any symptoms as far as coughing and sneezing, headaches, or anything like that. It was just attacking her. She has a lot of medical conditions, so that's why she got really sick. She has diabetes, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, she has asthma,
Wow.
and let's go on and on. So
A lot of underlying issues.
yeah, she has a lot of serious underlying medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
So when she got to the hospital, they were not going to test her for the virus, because of the simple fact she was not showing any symptoms according to what the CDC says the symptoms are. So they kind of knew she was having a mild stroke, and they thought that's what it was. The hospital themselves was not going to test her for the coronavirus. Her doctor came over and suggested they test her to be on the safe side, just to make sure that she didn't have it. But you know, he said he don't believe she had it, but test came back and she came back positive. So she was in the hospital for probably like a week and a half, close to 2 weeks, and she almost died from it. She really got really sick, because I guess when you're in the hospital, they can tell by your blood work if you're getting better or sicker. And she don't remember the medicine that they was giving her, but they was giving her a lot of vitamins, zinc, and stuff like that. And the doctor told her, you're getting sicker. There's nothing else we can do.
Wow.
They was getting ready to put her on the machine, because her oxygen levels did drop very low. And, you know, she said she prayed and, you know, told the doctor that, you know, I have daughters, you know, please. And the doctor, you know, he said he felt bad and he didn't want to give up on her. So they did the plasma on her. So the plasma is what saved her, because if that wouldn't have worked on her, then that would have been it for her, because there was no other solution.
Yeah.
So they gave her the plasma, and it immediately, they saw that it was helping her and she got better or whatever. So
you guys believe that you got it from
her,
possibly? Yeah.
But we don't know exactly where she got it from. So all of us in the house, as far as me, my sister, and my son, we were asymptomatic for a while. My sister started showing symptoms kind of first. She had like, you know, cold symptoms, sneezing, coughing, so she was taking over-the-counter medicine. I started taking over-the-counter medicine even though I wasn't feeling sick. I just did it just because I felt like, hey, if my mom got it, we be around her, we gonna have it too.
Right.
So then my son just started running a fever. So when he started running a fever, I got very nervous and scared. And I was like, let me just take him to the hospital. So I took him to the hospital, Memorial, and the doctor was like, I don't care if the test results come back negative. He has it. Because if your mom has it and y'all been exposed around her, take him home, isolate him for 14 days, don't have him around anybody, don't go nowhere. And that was it. They just sent us home. And they slapped COVID-19 on his discharge papers, which and he did have it because eventually we did go and get tested for it, but they didn't test him at the hospital. They just was jumping to conclusions that he had it. So he only ran a fever for 2 days. He didn't have no other symptoms after that. I, on the other hand, I slightly started having body aches, but then it went away. And then that was it. And then my sister, like I said, she started feeling a little better. So my mom finally came home. She had to come home on an oxygen tank, where she had to use the oxygen machine because our oxygen levels were still kind of low. Then one day I went to sleep, and then I woke up and it was like boom. I woke up and I felt like crap. Like my body aches were like it was terrible. And I think I was running a slight fever. It wasn't a high fever or anything. And then I got scared because I do suffer from anxiety. So when they say shortness of breath because of the COVID, immediately I was like, okay, I can't breathe. This is what causing me not to breathe. So my sister called the paramedics for me. They came, they took my oxygen levels, everything seemed fine. They did an EKG, that came out fine. They was like, we'll take you to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital, and the doctor explained that they have levels for people, and she told me that I'm basically a low level, is what they call a low level, because I don't have any serious medical conditions like my mom. So, they did blood work. Like I said, they could tell by your blood work if you're getting sick. And they did blood work, they did an EKG, they did a chest x-ray to make sure I didn't have any pneumonia. And the doctor was like, you're fine, your oxygen levels was at, I think it was at 98%. Blood work came back fine. She was like, just go home, rest, drink a lot of fluids. She said if it gets unbearable where you feel like you can't deal with the body aches or you feel like you're getting sick, then come back and we'll take care of you. Shout out to Canela Hospital. They took very care of me. The nurses was very nice. They was very professional. They didn't act scared like Memorial did. Because the doctor at Memorial didn't even want to come in the room. Like he stood at the door and was like, oh, take him home. Isolated for 14 days.
Oh, wow.
He didn't want to come in the room. When I went to Candler, they had a nurse in the room already. There was 2 nurses in the room. Those young ladies took care of me. Like they did everything immediately right then and there.
Wow.
And they were so nice. They didn't act scared, acting fidgety. Oh yeah, she got the virus, I'm gonna get it. No, it was none of that. They had on their proper suit, their quarantine suits. So I appreciate them taking care of me and making me feel better. I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't getting sick.
Right.
So that next day I started feeling better. The body ache slowly went away because I was taking Tylenol. And she gave me a steroid to take for the cough because I had a slight cough, but the cough eventually went away. Like that next day, it slowly, gradually went away. So after that, I was fine. So it's very tricky with this virus because it's like you be like, oh, I'm fine, and then you go to sleep and you wake up and boom, it just hits you out of nowhere because I was asymptomatic for weeks. Like I did not have no symptoms. We all really didn't, and it was just like boom. I woke up and I was like, the body aches was just crazy.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my experience.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad your mom.
Yes,
is
that's what we was worried
Thank
about.
God. Thank God about that, and your son.
Yeah.
So, Sonia, how do you think you got yours?
Well, maybe halfway in June, in middle June, I started at work having some slight tightness in my chest. And I remember telling my department manager that I'm feeling this slight restriction in my chest, and I don't know what that's about. But anyway, my last day at work was July 4th. I was getting ready to get off. I was going to be off for 3 days, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. So when I got home from work on the evening of the 4th, I was feeling a little fatigued, and I just kind of went to bed early, and then the next day I was getting worse. And I remember the third day I started having a fever and chills, and I took my temperature and it was 100.4, and I knew that I was due back to work the next day, and I knew I couldn't go back to work with feeling like that. So I called one of the managers and to let him know that I wouldn't be able to return to work because I was feeling bad. And his reaction was, okay, I'll just put you in. No, it's not, I'll put you in. I think I'm getting sicker, so I'm going to go get tested because I was really burning up, and I slept in the cover until I sweated it off, but I still was feeling bad. But anyway, I was due back to work on Wednesday. So, but because I called out, I wanted to go get tested, but I was feeling so bad I didn't even go get tested Wednesday. I went on a Thursday. So when I went Thursday to get tested, I went to the Department of Human Services. I guess is that DPH?
Yeah,
The
that is
Department of
right.
Human Services. So they tested me. They insert a long Q-tip up your nose, and you know, from the stories that you hear about being tested that you think is going to hurt. But the young lady who did my examination, she actually just inserted it all the way up my nostrils without even touching the sides of the walls. She said it's gonna, I'm gonna swirl it around for about 15 seconds. You might be feeling a little discomfort, but after that it'll be over. And it did just exactly what she said. But anyway, they took your email address and your number so they can notify you. My results came back within 3 days, and in 3 days on that Sunday, it said positive. Now I was shocked. I was like, positive? What? What?
I knew you had it when you told me the symptoms. I was like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you that, but I was like, yeah, Miss
Right.
Sonia,
She got it. She got it.
This is a mistake. What?
Yeah.
I could not believe it. So I had to notify my job to let them know my results came back positive, and so I had to be out for work. You know, I had in addition to the fever, I was feeling fatigued, getting tired all the time, and short of breath, and slight headache every now and then. But that's what my symptoms. And that's when I got it. It's going to be like late June, early July. But I was out of work for a whole month.
Mm-hmm. And so was I. For me, as I stated on my previous video, Greg actually got sick or started getting sick the end of June as well, but kept pushing. He didn't say anything. He just kept going to work and kept pushing. He came home and just laid down on the 2nd. When I came home from work, which was the last day that I worked, I noticed he was laying down, which is not like Greg at all. He would be in the kitchen cooking or doing something. He wouldn't be actually in the bed. And it was like 5:30. So I knew something was wrong, and I asked him what was going on, and he just said, I just don't feel like myself. I don't feel right. So he went and got tested, and of course he was positive and all of that. And then that following Monday, that was a Thursday on the 2nd, that following Monday or late Sunday night, I started having headaches, and I was so cold. I couldn't get warm. Chills it was awful, and my body hurt so bad that if someone touched me, it hurt.
Oh, wow.
It hurt. My body was hurting so bad. And when someone from my job called or whatever, and they were like, well, how are you doing? I would say, oh, I'm good. I didn't want to say to them, how bad I was, because I didn't want to make them scared. Oh my gosh, she got it, she's positive, and now we're gonna, I have this, I have that. So I didn't want to, cause panic in the office. So every time they called, I said that I was okay. But now I can say I was not okay. I was not okay. I was bad off. I was really, really bad off. It's only been one time since this time that I've ever been sick like that, and that was the worst, when I had the flu some years and years ago, and I was down for 7 full days. But this time, I didn't feel as bad, but I was down. I was down. And Sonia, you already said your symptoms, and you already said your symptoms. I'm just going to piggyback on you guys. It was bad headache, and it was fever, and it was chills, and it was body aches, and also it was blurred vision. I had experienced blurred vision, and it was ringing in my ears. I had ringing in my ears. It would go from this ear to that ear, and then from that ear to this ear, and it was just awful. It makes you feel really, really bad. It does. So
you lost your sense of taste?
Right. Oh, thanks. I completely lost my sense of taste. You didn't lose yours?
I think I lost somewhat a sense of smell, because remember I was telling you that I woke up and my nose felt like it was air in it. It just felt weird. And I was like, why does my nose feel like this? So I went to the bathroom. I'm not going to state what I did, but I was like, I can't smell nothing.
Right.
Like, so I went in the room after I finished, and I sprayed perfume on my arm, and it was like, for me to smell it, I had to do like this.
Wow.
And I was like,
right.
And I was like, I smell it a little bit, but I can't really smell it. And I was
Right.
like, yeah, something all right. My sister lost smell completely, because my nephew was boo-booing, and we was like, you don't smell him? And she was like, I can't smell anything. She couldn't smell nothing for like 2-3 days.
Right.
She lost her
Yeah.
she didn't lose taste. I think she just lost smell.
I completely lost my sense of taste and my sense of smell. Completely. My sense of taste has returned. There's still a few things that I try to eat that is nasty, which normally wouldn't be nasty.
Oh, wow.
When I first tried, anybody that knows me and my J. Callers, everybody knows that I drink wine and stuff all the time. When I tasted my Stella Rose for the first time, it was nasty. It was so nasty. So I just didn't drink at all during the whole time, and I still can't smell. My sense of smell still has not returned. Oh. And this is my 4th week, and it still has not returned yet.
Oh wow! I didn't lose my sense of taste, or I mean I could taste everything, but it did like you said.
Yeah.
My sense of smell slightly went away. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I went on the 7th to get tested, and it took about 4 or 5 days, I believe, and it finally came back. My sense of smell has not returned at all. I still can't smell anything. And what you were just saying, I'm not going to tell you to do. I did the same thing, and I still can't. I can't smell anything as of right now. I tested positive on July 7th, and I've been in quarantine, since then, and I've been drinking hot. Everybody, and Sonia's been saying drink something hot, hot water with lemon, hot tea, or turmeric tea. Drink it hot as you can stand it, and do things to build your immune system, because the virus attacks your immune system. That's what it does.
So I found out I had the virus on the 29th of June, and I went and got retested on the 20th of July, and he told me it was going to take 7 to 10 days because the labs was backed up and so many people getting tested. So I kept calling to see, if my test results came back, and I kept leaving messages, because normally they don't call you if you're negative. If you're negative, you don't hear from them unless you call and say, hey, I need my results for my job, et cetera, et cetera. So I left a message, and they finally called me, was it Tuesday? last week, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday they called me and they was like, your test came back negative. And I was relieved. I was like, yes, I can go back to work. But even though I tested negative, I still feel the effects from the virus, meaning I still experience symptoms every now and then. Like some days I get up, I feel perfectly fine. And then sometimes the headaches are the worst for me. I had a very bad headache last week and it was just like terrible. It wouldn't go away for nothing. I took Tylenol, you name it, and it was like my head was just pounding. And sometimes I still have a slight cough. I feel pressure on the back of my neck. I feel fatiguish if I try to get up and clean up and do simple household duties, and I feel like I'm about to pass out or I feel very weak. So I have to sit down and be like, okay, you know, I feel out of breath. So it still have an effect on your body and you're going to notice it. You might think that, okay, I'm tripping, but no. I went to the doctor recently. I went to the doctor Monday of this week. And I explained to her, you know, hey, I've been having bad headaches. I usually don't have headaches like that. And she said, oh, that's part of the coronavirus. There's still an effect from it. She said a lot of people have been complaining about, you know, they have headaches and whatever else. And they also tested me for the antibodies, meaning if I was to come in contact with the virus again, my immune system will know to attack that. So I'm kind of happy to hear that. And they're doing that with a lot of coronavirus patients that recover from it. They want to test you to see if your immune system will recognize the virus again and be like, hey, yeah, I remember you, you got to go. So I'm kind of grateful for that. You know, other than that, I'm fine. Just the after effects of it is just crazy.
I tested positive on July the 9th. July the 9th is when I got my test results back. And so you're supposed to quarantine for at least 2 weeks when you get your test results. So 2 weeks, I think it was 2 weeks and a day after I was in quarantine, I decided to go back to get retested. And so I went on Monday, this past Monday, which was probably, the 29th or the 30th, I'm not sure, of July. But anyway, I went to get retested. And basically, they told us that the test results will come back a little longer this time because my test results the first time came back in 3 days. But this time, the results, they said it was going to take a little longer. And my test results came back in 4 days. And it was negative. And I was so happy, so excited that it tested negative.
I tested positive on the 2nd of July. I'm sorry, I went to get tested on the 2nd of July. My test came back on the 7th positive. I went on the 22nd of July to get retested. That test came back positive. I went again on the 24th to get retested, my second retest. And again, it came back positive. I went again this week, Wednesday, to get tested and for the third time, and I am awaiting those test results. I was told that you can test positive for 3 months after contracting the virus. So if anyone out there is getting frustrated about testing positive, continuously testing positive, don't be alarmed. I was told that it's normal. It's just that the virus is dormant in your body and in your nasal cavities. So don't be alarmed. You're not contagious according to the CDC, and everything is fine. Okay, well, I hope that this video, J. Collins, have been very, very informative for some people, and we just want to tell you some of the things now that we experience or is still experiencing even after a month or 3 weeks or the length of time that we've had the virus. So with me, I'll go ahead and start signing. With me, I am still tired, like you said, Tiffany. Everything I do, every little task that I try to perform, I am exhausted. I get tired so fast. And that's irritating to me, is because I'm used to going, I have stairs in my home and I'm up and down the stairs all the time, and I have grandchildren and I'm playing with my grandchildren, but they're even noticing that, and they're like, "Grandma, you okay?" And I'm saying, "Yeah," but I'm like out of breath and about to pass out. Like you said, it's sickening. I still have headaches, like you said. Not any of the other symptoms as much. As I stated before, my smell has still not returned. So there is life after COVID, but with side effects.
Do you have do you notice sometimes you have your throat feel like it's something in it?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes,
dry,
like it's right here. Like it's right
dry.
here.
and that pressure from
Yeah.
the chest.
Yes. And coughing, just
Yeah,
like you.
yeah.
I'm coughing.
Yeah,
It's not continual,
Yeah.
but every so
Yes.
often I'll cough, and I'm like, even it surprises me. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
But that's another one, the coughing.
What I experienced, and it's amazing because after talking with Tiffany and Janet, and them telling me about their symptoms, everything exactly the same. That feeling of fatigue, as if you've done some strenuous work and you're just exhausted and you're tired. That feeling comes over you. I get this irritated or stressed feeling in the back of my head, and I find myself doing like this to kind of get rid of it. And constantly this cough. Well, not constantly. It's like every now and then, it's like something snatches your breath away and you cough. And and then in the morning when I wake up, I always have dry throat. And I got to get up and take some water. The first thing that I do in the morning is make myself a cup of hot turmeric tea, that I put some cayenne pepper and lemon juice from half of a lemon, because that, the virus can't survive in hot temperatures, so taking something hot to drink will help with that. And then, but some of the things that we have to remember to do to kind of combat those symptoms is take vitamin D. Doctors recommend that you take the vitamin D
because my mama,
tablet.
she said when they checked her vitamin D, she said the doctor was like, you had no vitamin D.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they had to give her a very high dose of vitamin D.
Yeah.
I was already taking vitamin D pills, so the vitamin D is very important.
Yes.
Getting in the sun.
Yes.
We go outside a lot and sit on the porch since we've been home, but since I've been home, we'll go sit in the sun because the vitamin D helps kill it
From
too.
the sun.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the things that I took you have to treat this virus like you have the flu. Yeah. So the things that I took on a regular, on at least 2-3 times a day, I took my vitamin D, I took my multivitamin, I took a garlic pill, I took emergency, I took airborne.
Oh hell, well that's too
I
bad.
had hot.
You went to the hospital for some other shit.
My turmeric
I'm
tea.
sorry, she's crazy.
And my cup of chicken soup. You have to treat it like you're fighting it.
Yeah.
You have to treat it like you're fighting the cold. That's why me and her are negative.
She being salty right now.
Oh, that was petty.
You have to, because you didn't want to do all those things, but you got to be consistent
Yeah,
with
you
taking
do.
these things.
Yeah, because your body's still trying to recuperate
Right.
from your body. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what did I just experience?
Exactly.
So it's like you still have to be like, hey, I'm gonna stay taking my vitamins.
You
I've been
have
doing
to be
Irish sea
consistent.
moss is also a good
Right.
thing to take because it gives you the.
Yeah.
I do. The guy buy my Irish sea moss pills or gel from. He mixed. I buy the one that's mixed with Irish sea moss, the bladderwrack, and the Buddha root. That gives you 102 minerals. If you just do the plain Irish sea moss, I think it's only 90 minerals. So I just recently ran out. I've been doing that, the vitamin D, and like you say, the hot tea every now and then. I don't drink hot tea every day, but I do drink it sometimes.
My friend in Atlanta, Navia Grimes, if you guys want to go to her Facebook page, Navia Grimes, Navia is distributing now the sea moss, the gel, sea moss, and everything. I just spoke with her yesterday, and she's gonna send me some in a gel, and she said you can taste it out of the jar. You can take it out of the jar. You can put it in a smoothie or
Put it
however
in
you put it in a smoothie. And so Nadia, shouts out, girl. For,
you can put it in your tea too, your coffee.
Yeah.
I learned that. They said you
Yeah.
can put the teaspoon of it, because I did it when I first bought it from him. I bought the gel. So the gel, I did it twice a day, in the morning, then I did it in the evening. But the next time I bought some from him, he didn't have the gel. He only had the pills, which I prefer the pills, because that stuff it is bland. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It tastes terrible.
But
I got my mom to take it, but she don't like it. So
The good thing about, there's nothing good about having the coronavirus, but the good thing that it's teaching you is to take care of yourself.
Yep.
Because your immune system is in your gut.
Yeah.
And in order to fight this virus, you have to help support your immune system, and that means giving it the things that it needs in order to help fight this virus. So that hot tea, the vitamin D, the multivitamin, the emergency, the airborne,
the wine,
everything that it needs to help support your immune system, you have to do these things to do that. And what I didn't touch on this, but what I'm getting ready to do is to go on a 12-day fast to cleanse my system, because a lot of the things that, one of the things that I was reading about the coronavirus is that it will cause permanent heart damage, and it brings on inflammation. And I didn't talk about the water. The water on my knees and my legs that I've experienced after the coronavirus. So I decided to do an entire cleanse to see if I can help get rid of the residuals after this virus, to help, build up my immune system again. But everything that you have to do to get this virus out, you need to do. Support that immune system.
Eat healthy, eat vegetables, fruits.
Yes.
Just take better care of yourself.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I had bad eating habits, and it's like I kind of try to eat somewhat healthy. I mean, I still eat my soul food and stuff like that, but it's just about, this is just a learning experience about taking better care of yourself. It's kind of like a wake-up call, like, hey, you need to eat right, you're doing this wrong, you're not taking care of yourself. So if you get the virus, it's gonna make you want to say, hey, I need to change certain habits.
Yeah,
it does.
Definitely.
It does. The only thing I probably won't change is my wine.
Okay, y'all two
Because I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't supposed to be drinking, but I was still drinking.
I'm trying to tell you.
Y'all two can
I'm
still
trying to-
remain luscious.
But I drink a lot of water.
I do. I drink water.
I'm drinking orange juice, so I don't have any wine.
Yeah, but you've been having that. You had that damn orange juice the whole time we've been damn filming.
I
I
did.
still drink damn orange juice. I'm sorry, I'm gonna drink my wine.
She act like she's sipping
Right,
gin juice
sipping
or
gin and
something.
juice. Ain't nothing over there but
Orange
water can.
juice.
This
That's
is
it.
just orange juice. I ain't got the front. I ain't trying the front. That's orange
We
juice.
drink it for her.
Well, J callers.
Anyway, hold on before you sign off,
Okay.
ex-Janet.
All right.
I just want to tell you, I love that shirt. Where did you get that
Oh,
shirt from?
thank you. This shirt. Let me tell you, J callers. Look at this. This is peace. So whatever they bring that ain't peace, they can back up off. No, this is actually my cousin Lionel Brown. Lionel Brown. Let me stand up so y'all can really see it. Lionel Brown, and you can find him on Facebook, or you can go to Black Peace 826 and look at these. They're in all different colors, all different sizes. He is really doing well with his shirt. So look him up. But that's what this is.
And for those of you who meditate, that centerpiece, that's where the light is. That's where your chakra. That is symbolic of your inner peace, and that's what that shirt means.
Yes. So I have inner and outer peace. So inner peace, that means people in my household that I don't want to mess with me, don't bother me, you know what I'm saying, roll up out my face. And people that's outside of my household, like these two, don't bother me, roll up out my face.
I'm gonna need you to continue to meditate.
Okay. All right, J callers. Well, that is it for my round table talk about the COVID virus. Look us up if you have any questions. Sonia Walker, Tiffany,
Tiffany,
Tiffany.
Sonia. No last names, boo.
I said look us up.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, don't look them up then. Go to Ask Janet. If you have any questions or whatever, ditch your therapist. Everybody. Ask Janet, goddammit.